So, what really goes into making the perfect lesson? It's not just about having a great teacher, it's about having a killer plan. Today, we're going to break down a really fascinating set of instructions given to an AI. We'll treat it like an architect's blueprint for the ultimate learning experience. And it all kicks off right here. This is so much more than a simple question. It's practically an act of creation. The prompt immediately sets the stage. It's asking the AI not just to spit out information, but to actually become a very specific, incredibly experienced person. This is the foundation everything else is built on. Alright, so here's our game plan. We'll start by looking at the overall blueprint. Then we'll meet the teacher it creates. After that, we'll dig into this very unique yam and goats method, see what they're actually teaching, and check out the final package. And to wrap it all up, we'll ask the big question: what does this mean for the future of the classroom? Okay, let's jump right in with the blueprint itself. This is where you realize that getting what you want from an AI isn't just about asking a question. It's about giving it a super detailed set of instructions. It's less like a conversation and way more like you are programming a very specific, very effective outcome. And this right here is the fundamental lesson. The magic isn't just hidden inside the AI's brain, it's in the quality of the key you use to unlock it. The level of detail, the structure, the sheer clarity of this prompt, that's what turns a generic tool into a world-class educator. Bottom line, the quality of your input directly shapes the quality of your output. Now let's get to the first really crucial piece of this blueprint, defining who is giving the lesson. This is where we get to build our expert from scratch. It's the first key ingredient in our recipe for the perfect lesson, the persona. So this whole process is about creating what's called an AI persona. You're basically giving the AI a character to play, complete with a backstory and a distinct personality. It's kind of like handing an actor a detailed character sheet before they go on stage. It ensures everything they say and do is consistent and, most importantly, believable. And wow, did they get specific with this character? It's not just a teacher. It's a teacher based in Lagos, Nigeria, working at one of the best schools who specializes in a specific age group. And their one goal? To turn a total beginner into an expert. Every single detail just adds another layer of authenticity. And then there's this little detail, it doesn't just say experience. It says over 25 years. That's not just a number, right? That's a powerful command. It's telling the AI to tap into the kind of depth, wisdom, and patience that you can only get from spending decades in a real-life classroom. So we have our expert teacher, but how are they going to teach? Well, that brings us to the methodology, the second key ingredient in our recipe, the pedagogy. And this is what I'm calling the yam and goats method. And it's a brilliant example of using culture to make learning really stick. The instructions on teaching style are clear. The AI has to be absolutely simple and clear. It needs to break everything down into bite-sized chunks, bring some energy, use storytelling, and make you feel like you're actually interacting in a classroom. This is so far beyond just listing of facts. And this right here is the core of the method. The prompt says to use real-life, relatable Nigerian examples, and even suggests things like yam plants and goats. Now, this isn't just for a little local flavor. It's a powerful teaching strategy to make abstract ideas concrete and memorable for a very specific audience. It's genius. An expert teacher with a great method is fantastic, but what are they actually teaching? So now we're going to look at the what of the blueprint, the curriculum itself, and more importantly, how it's strategically focused. The subject is the history, users, and ethics of accounting. And I know, on the surface, that might sound a little dry, but the real genius of this blueprint isn't just in what it's teaching, but in how it prioritizes the information. The key instruction was to put more emphasis and priority on one specific area, And check this out, a massive 60% of the lesson is designed to focus on career opportunities. By answering the "what's in it for me" question right at the start, the lesson grabs the student's attention and turns a potentially boring subject into a real pathway for their future. And the blueprint even gets down to the nitty-gritty of the lesson structure. It demands this logical flow from definitions to key features, all the way to worked examples and practical applications. It's a system designed for maximum clarity and to make sure students actually remember this stuff. Okay, this brings us to the final piece of our puzzle, the delivery. It's not enough to have a great teacher and amazing content. The blueprint is very specific about the final product. This is our third ingredient, the package. So after all this incredible detail, the persona, the method, the content structure, you have to ask, what's the end game here? Why be this specific? And here's your answer. This is the motivation behind every single instruction. The goal isn't just to teach accounting. It's to make it feel like the best class the student has ever attended. That's not just an instructional goal, that's an emotional goal. It's hugely ambitious. And to achieve that feeling, the prompt lists out these specific deliverables. The output needs to be a complete, self-contained experience, formatted like a video class with visuals, practice problems, and even a challenging take-home assignment. It's a total practical learning tool. So after taking this entire blueprint apart piece by piece, what have we learned? What does this single incredible prompt tell us about the future of AI and education? Well, I think the key takeaway is that effective AI instruction is just like a recipe. You need to combine those three essential ingredients we've talked about: a clear persona to be the voice, a tailored pedagogy to be the method, and a specific package to be the final product. It's a model for creating truly custom experiences. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. We've seen how a detailed blueprint can construct the mechanics of a great lesson. But as AI becomes the architect of our learning, can a prompt, no matter how perfect it is, truly build the soul of a great teacher? Something to chew on.